Water pollution is posing a great threat to the society today. It is because of the introduction of some foreign material which degrades the quality of water and reduces its usefulness. Now we know there are different sources which cause this water pollution. And to reduce this water pollution, we have to treat each source in a different manner. For example, domestic waste. So for domestic wastes, in order to prevent water pollution, we need to construct septic tanks. These septic tanks are underground tanks which treat the sewage before it is discharged into the water bodies. So in these septic tanks, the sewage is decomposed by bacterial action. When it is no longer harmful, it is then discharged into the water bodies. Another way to prevent water pollution at the domestic level is by preventing activities like bathing and washing clothes at rivers and lakes. So by following these 2 points, we can prevent water pollution at the domestic level. At the industrial level, we know at the industrial level, the wastes or the sewage is more harmful as compared to that in the domestic level. So for the industrial waste, we need a better setup to treat the waste. This is a setup for treating the industrial waste. In this setup, basically 3 processes are used: physical processes, chemical processes and biological processes are used to treat the wastes at the industrial level. So in the physical processes, techniques like sedimentation, flotation and filtration are used for removing the impurities. The chemical processes include techniques like precipitation and disinfection. Now in chemical process, these techniques, they help in disinfecting the waste. That is, they are used for decreasing the harmful effect of the wastes which are discharged in the water bodies. And finally, the biological process. This is used to treat the waste at the biological level, that is biological filtration. So by introducing some microorganisms, etc., the harmful characteristics of the wastes is reduced. So by using these 3 processes, that is at the physical, chemical and biological level, the industrial waste is treated so as to get safe effluents which are then discharged in the water bodies. So for industrial wastes, we need a bigger setup that takes care of these 3 processes in order to get safe effluents which are then discharged in the water bodies. Drinking water. Where do we get pure drinking water from? We know we get pure drinking water from seas and rivers. But then this water is not clean. It is not clean for our consumption. So it has to be purified. This is done in different levels. First, the water from seas and rivers is brought to the water works. So we have big pipes which brings the water from seas and rivers to the water works. Next, there are settling tanks. These settling tanks, they are used to settle all the impurities in these tanks. So all the impurities which can be sedimented or settled, they are allowed to settle down in these settling tanks. Next, and the important level is the use of filters. So successive filters, that is a number of filters are used which remove the impurity at each level. So at each level, using different and a series of filters, the impurities are further removed. And finally, the water is chlorinated. This is done to disinfect the water. For example, you must have heard at times someone saying that the water tastes a little different. The level of chlorine is more. This means water is chlorinated. Chlorination of water is done to remove any impurity that is to further disinfect the water. By using these 4 methods and these levels, we can get pure drinking water. So even after this, at homes, you use the filters. So you use different filters. What is the purpose of these filters? They again have a series of filters inside them. So at each level, the water further gets purified and finally we get pure drinking safe water.